As of today, the masks are no longer mandated to be worn in Texas, and capacity for businesses can be at 100%. This was a leadership decision that came from Governor Abbott of Texas. Today on The Everyday Leader, we're going to look at the decision. We're going to ask the question, was that a right decision from a leadership perspective? Because this is The Everyday Leader. Hey, my name is Jim at theeverydayleader.biz, and we're here to help leaders like you become a leader worth following. Click the subscribe button, turn on bells for notifications so that you could be notified each and every week when we go live and when we post new videos to the channel. This conversation polarizes people, but wherever you are on the side of pro-mask, anti-mask, the question we're asking today was he right? Did he do the right thing? One of the things you learn about being a leader worth following is leaders make informed decisions, not just off-the-cuff decisions. And the higher leadership that you are, the more important the decision that you make. The governor made a decision to remove masks. And when he made the decision to remove masks, it affected 29 million people. That's a lot of people to affect. So you need to make an informed decision. So let's see what Governor Abbott had to say about this particular decision.
COVID has not suddenly disappeared. COVID still exists in Texas, in the United States, and across the globe. But it is clear from the recoveries, from the vaccinations, from the reduced hospitalizations, and from the safe practices that Texans are using, that state mandates are no longer needed.
If we're looking at this from strictly a leadership perspective, then we have to understand that Governor Abbott has access to health records. He has access to data that we don't have as the normal individual. If you're not able to navigate the internet and look up your own stats and stuff, then you generally are someone who's watching the news. And if you're watching the news, you're watching a narrative. You're watching what they want you to understand or believe about the subject. But to be a leader, you need to be informed. The more informed you are, the better decisions you can make. And if you're going to make decisions for 29 million people, then you have to have the best information on the planet, or at least available to you to make those decisions. And I believe that he has access to that. And so in this decision, can we know whether he was 100% right or not? We won't know for a little bit of time, but what we do know is that good leaders make informed decisions, not based on their political bent, but based on what is the data showing and how can we make the best decision. We know there's a rise throughout the country. We know that there are places that are getting vaccinated and there's a decrease. We know there's a lot of different things happening in different places. But what about the localized level? What's happening in your town? How is this executive order going to radically change your life right now? I want you to put that in the comments. Just one thing you really want to do as a leader is to empower others. And what I see about this decision that was made was that the leader decided to empower the people of Texas. Now, you may not think of that because we're all thinking, well, if they're not mandated, then there are bad things that are going to happen. But here's what I know. I know that when somebody takes the authority to mandate something out of the picture, they put the common sense back into your hands, which really means this, is that when you are somebody who is trying to self-govern, trying to live your life to the best and fullest of your ability, take responsibility and live accordingly. So the question becomes, do you want to have governmental control in your life, or do you want to have self-control? Because your answer to that question will determine how you like or dislike this particular decision. We are obligated to take personal responsibility for those things. So if you have a sick wife, if you have a sick husband, if you have family, if you have a church, if you have a business, then you need to take the appropriate responsibilities. Just because the mandate was lifted does not mean your personal responsibility was lifted. So let's take a listen to what the governor has to say about this particular part of the subject.
Removing state mandates does not end personal responsibility or the importance of caring for your family members and caring for your friends and caring for others in your community. Personal vigilance to follow the safe standards is still needed to contain COVID. It's just that now state mandates are no longer needed.
If we are going to be leaders, then we've got to be given the opportunity to lead. When you think about it, there's going to be a lot of different opinions. But at the end of the day, You, my friend, have to be a leader worth following. You have to take personal responsibility. You have to take hot topics like this and dissect them and look at them and say, where can I learn to lead? You do not want to just allow things to go by without taking the leadership lessons out of them. And as we can see from Texas, as we can see from the governor of Texas, whether we agree with him or not, we can learn things about leadership that you and I can put into our lives and lead at a level higher than you lead now. And you can always be a leader worth following when you watch the example of other leaders. Every leader out there gives us opportunity to learn and to be a better leader. So that is what I want for you. That is why we do this on the channel, is to look at situations and just ask the question, do they lead well? And what can we learn from it? Just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me and being part of this community. If you'll just go ahead and click this over here, it should have come up over here somewhere. It's going to take you to the next video, and I want you to be able to be a leader worth following. So keep following the rabbit hole and learn to be a leader worth following. Remember to subscribe, share, and like this video. We'll see you on the next one. Talk to you soon.